What's up, everyone? We're back here in Lionize Watch, and what we got going on here is we are still level 12. Last time we lost a little bit of progress there, which was funny. Um, we're over halfway to level 13 too. So let's see. I think where we're headed next is yeah. So we just got out of the prison. We just beat Brutus. We're headed into Prisoner's Gate next. And we're actually almost done with Act 1. As you can see here, kind of like it's just all a series of zones connected until we eventually go north into the next act. We're going to turn in the quest to Tarkleigh for killing Brutus. I made one. Hang on a sec here. All right, so we beat that. We've got a few cool rewards we could use here. I don't need any of these guys really. Um, let's see. What do I want to use? I'll just get rid of. Sure. Why not? The gem we took is Whirling Blades, which is kind of a cool skill. I won't be using it. It also only works with daggers, claws, and one-handed swords. It's a movement skill that you sort of dash forward. Not intended to be used really for like heavy offense, but just for like mobility and other utility. So we changed one thing around here. We got rid of our gauntlets we had on earlier, and we've got Hrimsorrow, um, which is a pair of goat hide evasion gloves. And the reason we did this is because it does add a little bit more damage to our spell. As you can see, it adds 7 to 15 cold damage to both spells and attacks. It also gives me a little bit of cold resistance. It does have a 50% conversion of physical damage to cold damage. None of those really, matter to me at all. We're not really attacking with physical damage. Um, I wanted to use a spell that. One thing that's kind of funny with this build is I have to, as long as I'm using Malachi's Artifice, which I probably will be for the rest of the game, we'll see. I can't. I have to avoid any spells or any effects that add fire damage to my spells specifically, because what that will do is, since Arc is the lightning spell that I use to apply elemental equilibrium to enemies, and once again that skill, that effect, uh, it increases the enemy's resistance to any elements that I actually hit them with, and reduces the resistance to others. So if I hit them with even a tiny bit of fire damage, that's kind of added on to my arc spell, it will give them resistance to fire damage as well, which is the opposite of what we want. So adding cold damage to my spells is fine. It's a nice little buff for now. It's just a little bit of extra. Oh, my DPS tooltip isn't showing up there. There we go. Sometimes that happens. So as long as we don't have that, don't have arc dealing any fire damage to enemies, we should be good. And the little bit of spell cold damage on Magma Orb brings it up to a little bit of extra DPS. Still pretty low, but we're just starting out. Still quite a low level. Things are just kicking up a little bit. So here we are. We're in Prisoner's Gate now. Ooh, Ungolath. There's a he's casting a skill called Storm Call there, which leaves these like I'm just on fire now. That's my job. Stop that. Copycats. Jesus. Poop. Oh, I'm sorry. I swore. All right, so we're just gonna continue on here. I like these wide open areas with just lots of enemies. I don't like those dark little caverns. I like just being able to run around. And I've been forgetting to use Arc at all, which is funny. Oh, well, actually, that just... Arc just kind of, hit those guys pretty effectively as it is. I mean, since I am a spellcaster, Arc itself actually deals, just almost as much damage as Magma Orb does at this point, which is kind of funny. Just because I don't have any, like, I don't have the skill itself augmented very far, with very many things. And, well, my volley skill gem actually reduces the damage it deals. Oh, well, sorry guys, I forgot about this. I was looking away when this thing happened. So that was Piety here. She had the same sort of idea I had, and it looks like she cast these magical thorns, which blocked our passage northward, which sucks. So we can't. It seems to require some kind of key, guys. So we can't break that seal yet. But that's fine. Level 13, there we go. Well, that's a lucky number. Well, it is for me. Let's see. Oh, there we go. Alright, level up. Do. I was looking over my 10 build so far, and it's really quite comical, honestly. Most of my builds that I play in this game, you know, are a bit more traditional. Like, in other words, I'd be taking kind of more nodes right around the start tree, especially ones that give some early on damage. But with this character, I'm just kind of first thing running all over the place because most of my damage nodes, again, most of the passives that Burning Menace, most of the passive skills that will give me most of my damage are not near the ranger's start point. So we're gonna run along a little bit faster here. I'm not gonna be pausing as much, I think. Now that we're getting a bit more into the game here, we're just gonna run around killing everything as we have been. I probably won't be recording. I'll probably skip. Ooh, that was kind of cool. I'll probably skip some points as we go onward. I'm not going to record. I don't know. I'm trying to decide how I'm going to do this series here. As we go on, I probably won't be recording every second of the way. I might do some leveling of this character off camera, especially if I'm like trying to grind and farm one thing or the other. Because especially as we go forward, it will be getting a lot more slow going in terms of experience, or level gain rather, so which makes sense. Most games kind of go that way. Cool. Alright, well we are... I don't know, gaining levels is very satisfying, so here we are, almost halfway to level 14 already. Is that right? Yes. Okay, so the next place we're going here, there we go, Ship Graveyard. Wow. Bestel probably has a thing or two to say about this place. We actually meet an interesting guy here, if I remember. Cool, there's a waypoint. Take that. Sorry I keep popping this mini-map all the time. It's forms a habit, and it's very handy because the one in the upper right is convenient, but you know, only shows a small amount of the area at one time. These birds will charge me. Not that they're being especially effective at me. Hot Tamales is kind of a boss. Or are kind of bosses? I don't know. Is she plural? Is my character plural? Is she Candy? Haven't really figured that out yet. Alright. Well. Oh, excuse me, I am from the Midwest. Oh, excuse me. Please don't, please, kindly, thank you. Oh, okay, good, cool. Alright, Captain Fairgraves. Hey, cool, can't wait to talk to you. Alright, bye. He's a stranded pirate, who's, that's just silly. He's tasking me to find, the All Flame, which is apparently a precious possession of his. Probably like, I wonder if it has some kind of spooky hold over it, kind of like, Frodo in the Ring. Alright. So somewhere in this zone we're gonna find, that All Flame. And that is a quest I want to complete. It's actually, here, if I go to my, my quest tab, the ones highlighted in blue, are actually optional. Or at least I know this one is. And that's fine. We're going to complete pretty much every quest we find. There are going to be some exceptions, but I think this one especially does give me an extra passive skill point upon completion. And we definitely want we want all of those. We want all the ones we can get. Alright, well there's a way on here. Cavern of Wrath, over there. I'm not actually going to go there yet because we still need to find this... Ooh, excuse me. This All Flame of Fairgraves before we leave this area. Here, have some tomatoes. You can see my monitor rated much more quickly than it was before, and that would be thanks to the clarity aura I have on. Oh, this is kind of cool. Yeah, this is Summon Holy Relic, is a skill gem I just found. You know, I might as well just go ahead and use that, like it's another Just why not? What it does is it's a fairly new skill, at least as far as I'm concerned. Put that there. These guys are just. I'm not choosing a good place to stop and look at this. I'll just show you guys what it does. I'm going to equip it here, and sure, that's as good a place as any. So I summon it, and it summons this little floating symbol guy that moves around with me. And what that does is, actually, it's kind of useless on this build. So I just realized, yeah, when I hit an enemy with an attack, it releases a little Nova spell that deals physical damage to enemies and grants life regeneration to nearby allies. What's annoying about this skill is it doesn't actually give any like monster stats in its tooltip. As you can see, it just says I can have one summoned at a time, and like most minions, it cannot use any skill that will taunt enemies, because that would be there are some ways in which to have an effect like that, and that would be kind of maybe too strong on a minion. But I'm actually gonna throw that back on the ground. We don't want that. That's because I keep forgetting it only triggers if I hit an enemy with an attack, which we don't use at all. So, can I kill that boy for me? There we go. Alright. I don't know why I'm opening all these trunks. They don't give much stuff, but sometimes they do. So that's cool. Oh, I forgot I gained a level. There we go. Okay, well we've got basically our first point that actually gives us anything. This gives some 6% cast speed. It's not going to up our DPS by very much, like 4 points, but it's something. We're getting there. This is a very silly start. Okay, here we go. The Ship Graveyard Cave, which is pretty aptly named. We're going to go in there because I believe this is where we will find Fairgrave's All Flame. Yep, there we go. What is this? This is a wand. It's always possible it's better than the one I have. Hang on, let me just burn these guys down. There's some fried crab legs there. Boom. Okay. Yeah, I think so, right? Well, this one, okay, so I don't really deal cold damage at all. So all this thing does is give me the 10% increased elemental damage, which applies to all lightning, cold, and fire. And it gives me 7% increased cast speed. This thing gives me 13% increased spell damage, plus another 26% increased spell damage. It also gives me a 12% increased critical strike chance for spells. That doesn't really, that's not especially helpful right now, but why not? Yeah, I do about 80.6 DPS right now. If I swap these guys over, it's going to be, well, 9 points more. That's still pretty good though. And it's worth it for sure. Yeah, and cool. All right, well, that was, yeah. Why not? Okay. What's the average? If you look up here, it gives the average monster level of the area. I'm 2 levels over this place, so honestly, I should probably stop fighting every little thing I see. Because I'd rather... It's easy to get over-leveled early on in the game, and that doesn't really detract from anything in any way. If anything, you're typically a little bit over-leveled. But I kind of prefer to be a little bit more in line with the monster level of the zone, because progression is faster. Obviously, if I'm not stopping for every guy, I'm not pulling over to pick up every hitchhiker. I say this as I'm still killing everything. I'm gonna open this strong box, just because that's always worth it. Oh, got a couple items there. All right, well, let's keep going. Oh, there's a level up my clarity gem there. As clarity levels up, it's going to reserve a little bit more mana with each level that it goes up, and it will also increase my mana regeneration by a little bit greater of an amount. And that's good. We're not gonna. I don't know if we'll use that indefinitely. Well, we'll keep using it until we no longer need it. Cool. Oh, jeez, this guy's sort of teleporting all over the place. That's annoying. So are they? Nah. Alright, nothing over there. So where haven't we been? We haven't been this way. Again, wet, dark mazes. I just don't like these guys very much. Alright. Here we go. Now for this one, I'm going to throw down the arc. Let's blast this person down. Or person, I say loosely. Well, who am I to say? Person, sure. The frothy wet person. Okay. So that elemental equilibrium doing its work there. I killed that guy pretty fast. We're gonna, I guess, roll over this little slave girl's corpse and pick up the All Flame, who I guess she stole that from Fairgraves. I can't really blame her. My opinion of him just went down rather drastically. But yeah. Oh, hey, what are you guys doing there? Oh, let me show you guys something. I talked about this earlier. I'm gonna get rid of this Whirling Blades gem. We're not gonna use it. Um, lesser multiple projectile support is very similar to volley. Um, both of them reduce the projectile damage of linked skills at ideal by the same amount. This one is let's see, volley's a little bit, it's leveled up a little bit more than lesser multiple projectiles, so it deals 24% less damage instead of 25. But they have a similar effect with one difference. If you look here with the volley gem again, you can see that it fires sort of, two additional projectiles in the same line, in exactly the same fashion as the initial one in the middle. It sort of conjures 2 points on either side and launches them from there. Lesser multiple projectiles, and this is actually the way that most projectile firing skills will function. It will actually fire them out in yeah, there we go. You can see in like a in a cone like that, kind of. Instead of the point of origin being like on either side of the original projectile, the I become the point of origin, and they all start from me and kind of splay out like that. And I can actually sort of adjust, I think, how, depending on how far from myself I click. Yeah, you see that? They're spreading out a lot more widely if I click really close to myself. If I click out here, they obviously don't splay out that far. But we're going to use volley because I think it covers a bit more. I'm just going to throw this away. It covers a bit more ground the way in which it launches. But you know, no big difference anyway. Okay, wait, where am I going? I know where I'm supposed to go. Tell you what, it might actually be faster if I run over toward the sort of the next zone we're going to go to. If I run toward the exit and create a portal scroll back to town, and then use the waypoint, to get back here, which will take me back to Fairgraves. Let's try that out. I'm gonna go back to Lionized Watch. I have a few items on me, but I'm not gonna. My inventory isn't very full right now, so I'm not gonna worry too much about, dumping these guys off right now. I'm gonna travel back to the ship graveyard, and let's go see Fairgraves, who's over here. Yeah, this should be good. I love this is one of the first things I always do on a character is I grab a couple of Quicksilver flasks because the running, I like to run. Alright, cool. I'm going to listen to what this guy says just because I kind of enjoy this part. He's basically just saying like, oh, you wanted a reward? I'm sorry, I'm going to have to kill you because the All Flame is a cursed drug, and I can't really. I need you to die for me. So let's zoom in here. And yeah, he's a zombie skeleton boy now with crewmen, and he's going on about how he's a gentleman of honor, and he regrets his actions. Well, that's nice. I'm sure I hear that all the time. All right, if I had a nickel. Oh, hang on. There we go. Now you're vulnerable to fire. Yeah, I don't like being vulnerable, do you? Okay, well that didn't take long. He explodes, quite satisfyingly, and I can go back to town and talk to Bestel for my reward. I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'm going to do that right now by going over to this, back to the waypoint, and then when I'm ready to move on, I think I'll just take the portal I opened back to here. Just saves me a little bit of walking time, I think. Okay. Bestel, sorry. Yeah, he was a fine man, I'm sure. Yeah, that sucks. Oh yeah, just keep glorifying him. Yeah. I'm sure All right, yeah, no, right up there with Chris Columbus. Um, he sure did a good job. It's not his fault, right? Okay. Um, cool. Got a skill point for that. And Nessa, cool. Well, that was a bit quick, because I didn't listen. But Mervale is going to be the sort of the final boss of Act 1 here. Oh, cool. This person has a shadow cat. Look at that. That's a microtransaction, and such as a bunch of ring of floating skulls, several weird beak things. This guy has giant crystal armor. I don't usually pay attention to these things, but look at this fabulous, fabulous human being, human being. This person has a cockroach. Or is it a cricket? I don't know. I don't know what effect that is. That's cool though. And there's a bunch of other sort of newbies like me. I kind of want that shadow cat. I don't know. I never paid for anything in this game, but that would be cool to have though. Like, there's some pretty stuff. I'm gonna sell this wand, or sorry, that was actually a one-handed mace, I think. All right, and drop off some items here. Hold on a second. Sorry, guys. If you see my mouse just kind of go around at random times near the top of the screen, it's probably because I'm unsatisfied with my location of my recording pop up. All right, just looking through here, I don't think there's really any items that I care to be using right now that are better than the ones I already have. I wanted to use this mace actually. Oh, come on. Sorry. I wanted to use this mace because it's a pretty decent like little early spellcasting weapon. If I equip it, actually, my DPS is going to go up by quite an amount because it adds some fire, some cold, and some lightning damage to all my spells, as well as having a little bit of increased cast speed, some elemental damage, and it's going to double my crit chance basically. But you know what? Actually, that's probably worth doing as it is. Let's see, I do 89 DPS right now. What happens if I swap this guy in? Well, actually, it's not that much different. I mean, it's better, but the reason why I'm not using that is what I talked about before with my ring of elemental equilibrium. Because this adds fire damage as well to all of my spells, that's going to make arc basically reduce my DPS instead. And it's not necessary, but I don't really want that. Oh, hang on, guys. For the speed of leveling, I am going to... I feel so lame just using all my sort of unique items I stored up over time in this run. Um, oh, sorry about that. I coughed right into the microphone. So we're going to use this staff of mine, actually. We're going to take off... So we'll definitely lose some defenses by unequipping... Oh, that was laggy. Unequipping my shield and also replacing this wand here. But Searing Touch, it's a very good staff for fire spells. You can see here it has +2 to the level of socketed fire gems, and that's going to be very powerful. You're going to see the strength of increasing the gems level for spells in a minute. It also gives me increased spell damage, increased fire damage, increased cast speed, and 70% increased burning damage, which isn't going to be, we don't really need too much, doesn't really matter too much, but it's going to be good. And let's see, if I press down, I can review like different, bit more information about it if I press down the Alt key. Up here you can see, oh, no, I can't show you. It's an item level 18 staff. The number of sockets that a piece of gear can have is restricted by its item level, not its required level, its item level. And higher level items are found in higher level zones, even if the item itself requires a low level. So that means that I know that level, what was it? What did I say? 18? You can't actually have more than 3 sockets generated on an item, period, if it's not at least level 20, I want to say. At least I think that's the case. I think 3 is this one's limit. So that kind of hinders me from being able to use this later on into the game, because eventually, you know, I'll want as many sockets as I can. But we're going to use this because it will be much more powerful to use this now instead of socketing more support gems into Tabula Rasa. So what we're gonna do, just from equipping that, my DPS went up to 106. Um, I want to use the volley support gem though. So I think what I'm gonna do, yeah, let's see. I think the best uh, gems for me to use here are definitely Magma Orb. So we're gonna move over because it only has the 3 sockets. We're gonna use Magma Orb, Combustion, and Volley. Arcane Surge is nice, but we don't need it. I think Combustion. I want these two more than I want that. We also don't really need Phantasm on kill. It's just kind of a cool little tool. Just looks cool, really. Having little minion ghost boys. Um, but what we'll do now is because I need a green socket to use this, what I am going to do is go over to my crafting tab here. We're going to take these chromatic orbs I've been talking about. Hopefully we won't need to use too many. So using one of these guys on item will reforge the color of the sockets on there randomly, all of them. So what I want to achieve is a Searing Touch that has 2 blue and a green. So I can socket all 3 of these gems here. So let's go ahead and use it like this. Alright, we got a red one there. We don't want that. Try again. 2 blue and a red. Come on. There we go. 2 blue and a green. That didn't take very long. So I'll re-equip that and socket in these gems like so. Volley. Cool. Let's see what damage I deal now. Yeah, that went up. My DPS actually more than doubled, I think, from before. Yeah, it went up by it doubled since before I equipped Searing Touch at all. So that's pretty great. Increasing the gem level, you can see from this guy, it now says that it deals +2 levels. It has +2 levels. So because spell gems increase their damage sort of not linearly, but their base damage will increase as they level up. Just kind of like equipping a just organizing a bit here. Just like equipping a stronger weapon to attack with will. So if you increase the effective level of the skill gem, it's going to increase its base damage that it deals by a flat amount, and that gets scaled very strongly as you progress. So it's really good. I did level up. Oh no, I didn't level up. Sorry, I did complete that quest here. We're just going to take some life nodes. We're going to keep going up here. We're going to go over into the Witch and Templar trees to start. And we'll just kind of play it by ear what attributes I need, what passives I want to get after that. But we're just going to keep going forward. Let's get that life node there. And hold on. Cool, my portal's still here. And with that, we're going to take the portal back to, cool, right here, right next to the next zone we're going to. So let's go in there. The Cavern of Wrath. Another spooky wet hole. I'm sorry I just said that. Cool, we gotta go talk to Nessa. Oh, I'm sorry, Nessa. Okay, so Mervale is kind of like a siren. She was deeply in love with a champion of the arena. Oh yeah, look at that damage. Named Doresso or whatever. They're both sort of heroes of lore in this character. In this game, and they have a tragic ending. Mervale became corrupted. I don't actually remember how or why, but she turned into a creepy siren, much like these what are these guys? Creepy squid siren people. She became something kind of akin to them, and we'll end up fighting her pretty soon here. Actually, I want to see if I can... Oh, cool, another prophecy coin. I want to see if I can reach her and fight her by the end of this video, because that would be kind of nice. A nice way to end, I think, by finishing up this this whole Act 1. I did level up there. That's a good one. So any nodes like these, they just say dexterity, life, or strength. These are kind of like small, regular passives. Any of these that are bordered by a little bit of gold and whatnot there, and have their own special name. These are known as notable passives, and they tend to give a stronger bonus. Like this is just a little old night life node, and blood siphon gives me increased maximum life, 10%, 5 life gained on kill, and 20 strength, and that's good because we don't have much strength um, available to us on this side of the skill tree. So we're going to get that, and let's just keep going here. Run along, running through the forest. Yeah, singing sirens. Boy, I just killed those guys in one shot. That was pretty cool. Boom, Night Claws. Cool name. Sorry you died. Nope, dead end. Alright. Oh, I feel like, whatever that one guy is, in the maze with that, weird cow person. I can never remember my history. Okay. Stuff is popping off here. Oh, yeah. Look at those bounces. Cool. This is actually getting kind of satisfying now to use this skill, now that it's a bit stronger. Oh, level up my arc gem for the first time. You know, I don't... Oh, Amarissa, daughter of Mervale. Oh, you know what? I forgot to even use... well, that's alright. It's a low level. I don't really need to use... I don't need to arc everybody I see. I am going to level up arc, because I don't care about how much damage my arc skill deals. I could just honestly keep it at level 1. Like, the mana cost increases per level, so there isn't much benefit to leveling it up damage-wise, because I don't care about that. But, however, as it levels up, it actually will increase the number of enemies that it chains to, which will lead to better coverage of, you know, hitting more enemies with the elemental equilibrium effect. And again, I'm not sure... Cavern of Anger, here we go. I'm not sure if Arc is the skill I want to continue using to spread that effect, but we'll just keep using it until something else comes along. Actually, I think there is another lightning skill that I want to use I would rather use to spread, just because it hits so many enemies at once. But that requires level 28, I think. It's in my stash somewhere. And we're fine for now. Rage Snarl, do you guys see that? That person's name was Rage Snarl. I'm sorry, I keep calling them people. It's probably pretty rude. I don't get to label things like that. All right, here we go. This is backwards, but I want to go fight this evil cretin I just found. Barosia, daughter of Mervale. That did not take long. Well, I'm finding a whole bunch of these items with 3 linked, you know, tricolor sockets around. That's pretty cool. I definitely like... That'll actually replace the chromatic orbs I just used to make the staff work for me. That's nice. Those are... You can never really get enough chromatic orbs, especially. Oh, those... Ooh. Those little blood creatures, blood spawn will explode on me, which is uncomfortable, honestly. I like to stay clean, ideally. Oh, whoa. There we go. Unstable larva. Yep. Well, I mean, I would say so. Go see a therapist, please. I know I do. I'm not ready to explode with blood on you guys at all. I mean, that's just rude. Okay, greater life flask. Oh geez, I still have this. I still have a small life flask. 70 life over 6 seconds is not a lot of healing. Greater life flask is much better. There we go. Okay. Ooh. They're shooting waves of cold at me. That's just chilling. Sorry about that. Awkward. Diamond Shrine. Diamond Shrine is pretty cool. Diamond Shrine makes all of my hits into crits, so like boom, you know. I should also mention that whenever you critically strike with elemental damage, it automatically applies the associated elemental ailment. So like every time I crit, I will always ignite the enemy. And before this guy runs out, I want to go in here and actually get started fighting Mervale. Here she is. Alright, this is her in all of her glory, I guess. Let's hit you with arc and start blasting you up. Wow, nice. She's not done yet, though. She's going to turn into her true form, which is gross. And wow, I am really just blasting her. Look at that. Oh, no. Yes! Yeah, that's actually pretty cool that I killed her that fast. Alright, so we completed this place now. It's too bad I turned the sound down on the music because it's kind of a cool victory music that plays here. I found a bronze scepter. A unique one. Let's grab that. I think this is actually the exact same one as I just showed you guys from my stash that I didn't want to use. Let's identify that real quick. Yep, it is. And I think it's a worse version too, but you know, hardly matters really. I'm not going to use it. I'll just keep whichever one is better of the two that I now have, and I'll sell the other. Cool. So the next place we're going on to is the Southern Forest. We got a damp diary. Jeez, damp with tears, just like mine, truly. Like, I get it. I'm sorry, Murdo. I understand.
Promise that he would be by my side.
It's quite a sad story, actually. I'm sure something happens in it. Okay. So that's all for now, guys. In the next episode, we're going to continue on into actual sunlight. Thank God. I'm tired of this dampness. So we are level 15 right now. We're really sort of starting to progress a bit faster now, which is really cool. I will see you guys next time. We're going to kill some forest dwellers this time. So I hope you all have a good time. I will talk to you later. Bye.